The anime starts with Mash wanders into the classroom and ends up in the Magia Lupus headquarters, where Lord Abel recognizes him and informs him that only the strongest should be permitted to control this world, while the weak should be pillaged and expelled from society. He demands the gold coin in exchange for leaving the headquarters. Mash refuses to give him his gold coin, so Abel assaults him with his puppet. However, Mash manages to fool him and escape with Silva. Abel notices that the button on his puppet is missing, and when he checks the coin, it has been replaced with his puppet's button. Dot and Lance were fighting in Finn's room at the Adler dorm because Dot despises attractive males. Mash broke down the door to the room and told them to fight outside because it would damage the stuff inside. Lemon appeared out of nowhere and led the group to the magical scale, a scale showing how many gold coins are in each dorm. Since Lang has been stealing the coins from other dorms since the beginning of the school, it possesses the most gold coins, compared to Adler and Orca, who each have just one. Mash received a week's worth of cleaning the owl huts from Headmaster Wahlberg as a punishment. Lance suspected Lang dorm could try to steal Mash's gold coin, so he came with Mash to help him. In order to collect the gold coin, the 6th and 7th fangs of Magia Lupus, Allor Andrew and Answer Shinri, arrive at the owl hut simultaneously. Lance discovered the magic used by Answer to manipulate the shuriketh, a disc-shaped weapon, as the battle for each other's gold coin began. Lance attempted to attack him, but refrained from using magic since he didn't want to harm the owl. As a result, he suffered severe injuries while defending the owls. Lance then cast his first spell, commanding the shovel hanging from the hut wall to sever the feedback that was drawing the owl toward it. Lance then utilized his magic of gravity to vanquish Answer. While this was going on, Allor, a sea shark, was astounded by Mash's swimming prowess as he watched him quickly cross the water. Allor used the magic of shark evolution to transform into a big shark, but Mash persisted and defeated Allor with his incredible speed. Another Magia Lupus member named Abyss appeared there to recover his allies. Lance attempted to use his magical abilities to attack him, but Abyss's evil eye temporarily prevented him from doing so. Rhodes, the magma master of the Orca dorm, is fought by Abyss from Magia Lupus. Abyss easily overcomes Rhodes and snatches his gold coin. Lance explains to Mash that Magia Lupus members are naturally gifted magicians with great self-worth. Their higher ranks are the best students in the school, and he would not play defense against those with true skills. However, the school keeps the location of the dorms a secret from one another to encourage inter-dorm competition. Mash was told by Lance that they needed to get the gold coins back from Magia Lupus. Mash didn't listen to Lance's conversations as he was more concerned with producing the cream puff. Mash had trouble wearing the robe that Lance later handed him because it had the mark of the Adler dorm on the back, which would have made Mash more aware that he belongs to a dorm. Lemon then dashed to them and took them to the infirmary where Tom and the other students were admitted. Tom told them that he doesn't typically dream, but that particular night he had a vivid dream about being imprisoned and put inside a mysterious box. He was awake but unable to communicate. He remained in that state for several hours until awakening in the hospital. He felt a little queasy physically and was unable to utilize magic because he felt like someone had drained the magic out of him. When their headmaster was summoned to the Bureau of Magic, there were already many students in the hospital experiencing conditions comparable to Tom, and they were momentarily unable to use magic. Lemon warned Mash against taking any unnecessary risks and gave him a cute creamy puff as a charm. Lance and Mash were contemplating walking around the school after hours once the light came out of the dorm, and Dot and Finn offered to join them. While they were moving about, they noticed Lemon moving in an unexpected direction, so they decided to pursue her, but Lemon abruptly vanished. Lance revealed a gate leading to a covert base. Mash used Mock Soldier and his physical might to pry through the door. They descended to the basement level where they discovered a long-forgotten dueling arena that the present-day instructors were ignorant about. They were asked to confront him for the coin by a member of the Lang dorm named Shuen, who was present at the Third Fang's request. Dot rejected Lance's advances toward a fight since he preferred a duel with Shuen and detested the gorgeous men because they had all the girls. While this was going on, the headmaster, Wahlberg, was informed by the Minister of the Bureau of Magic, the top legal authority in the magical sphere, that the prison guards had been massacred, and the 6 inmates on death row had escaped with the help of Innocent Zero. The name of Innocent Zero shocked Headmaster Wahlberg since he had known him previously. Dot attempted to use his magic spell, Explom, to attack Shuen in the interim, but Shuen easily repelled him, making fun of their victory over Silva. Dot then detonated the time bomb next to Shuen and led him astray by instructing him not to maintain his legs. Shuen cast another spell before grabbing Dot with his whip and stabbing him with thorns. Shuen was defeated when his whip accidentally hit Dot's trap while he was attempting to drop it. Despite the loss, Shuen continued to smile. Due to Magia Lupus's intention to divide and hunt them, they suddenly began to sink in the arena. Lance encountered Magia Lupus worth Mattle's third fang. Meanwhile, Dot and Finn encountered the fourth fang, Milo the Genius, and the fifth fang of Magia Lupus, Love Cute, while Mash met with the second fang, Abyss Razor, in the meantime. Lance launched a Graviole attack, but Worth quickly blocked it with his mud magic and moved underground. After that, Lance used his gravity magic to destroy Worth's mud clones as an attack. Worth used mud balls to attack quite deftly, severely wounding Lance. Worth invited him to join Magia Lupus despite the fact that Lance lacked any talent and instead blamed his surroundings for his situation, leading him to make fun of Adlers. Lance turned down Magia's invitation and used gravity to throw him into the wall. He then used gravity to shoot the earlier created debris into the mud. To boost his magical power, Worth swiftly leaped out of the wall and swallowed the concentrated magical essence that was taken from the pupils. He then turned into a huge mud monster. Lance cast his Graviole's second torture spell to surround the beast with enormous torment pillars that were strongly drawn in by gravity. The strongest spell cast by Worth was defeated when the creature was torn apart after being drawn in all directions by the gravity of the pillars. Now, Worth began thinking back to the time when his father had called to compliment his efforts and insulted him when he was about to become a famous magician. Returning the book that was lying on the ground, Lance told Worth about his family's tendency to evaluate people according to their social standing and their use of magic before leaving. In the meantime, Mash threw Abyss away with a strong kick, but Abyss then repeatedly attacked Mash's body with his sword while using his accelerate magic. Abyss demonstrated to him a contraption that was robbing Lemon of her magical power, and in about 30 minutes, she would permanently lose her mark in magical abilities. Then Abyss constructs an accelerized sphere, stands atop it, and strikes Mash. Even Mash was unable to see him due to his extraordinary speed when he suddenly stabbed Mash in the stomach, seriously wounding him. However, Mash managed to grab the sword with his massive head assault, destroying Abyss's mask. Mash sees Abyss's crimson eye as bloodshot, but Abyss informs him that it is actually an evil eye that temporarily disables the magic of everyone who comes into contact with it, which is why people are scared of him. Mash feels horrible for Abyss because he is unable to use his sight against him due to his lack of magical abilities. Even his parents hated him, according to what Abyss told him. Then, using his second magical ability, Accelerates, Abyss casts a tight spherical force field, slowing down everyone else within it while increasing his own speed. Mash strikes the ground forcefully even when moving slowly, splitting it to constrict his path. Mash places Abyss's feet on the ground while holding them there, then punches him hard to break the force field before Abyss can regain his balance. Mash regained his speed as the force barrier broke, and he used his magical might to vanquish Abyss. Abyss revealed to Mash that he was a little child when his eye manifested after losing the battle. He was put away in the basement by his parents after they were shocked by an offense that earned him God's gift of the devil's eye. On occasion, they even tried to strangle him to death. Even yet, Abel used him as a tool, and today he is despised by everyone. Mash proposed that they become friends because his attitude wouldn't alter due to the color of his eye. The headmaster, Wahlberg, gave the lad the order to find Innocent Zero. He opened the locked door and went inside. Milo had already left the altercation with Love for the fight. Dot refused to say whether Love was cute or not, which infuriated Love because it showed that he didn't value her. As a result, Love attacked Dot with his tornado magic, but Dot defended himself with his explosion. Love informed him that Milo has the ability to turn a specific target, the person who opened the underground door, into stone, but this ability only takes effect 2 hours after Milo begins to store energy. If Dot is unable to defeat Love in that time and advance to the 4th level, Mash will perish as Milo will turn him into a statue. Love throws Dot into his tornado cage, leaving Dot seriously injured. Dot recalls a day in his early life when he quit too easily, prompting his sister to fight back. His sister advised him never to betray a true friend once he had one. When Dot's emotions crossed a particular threshold, he was able to release his magic strength and beat Love, just as Love was about to attack Finn. The Divine Visionary, the ace of Adler Dorm, and second-year student Rain Ames, who was given a task by the headmaster to find Innocent Zero, arrived there and stabbed Milo with his swords, using his unbeatable magical power to save Finn and Dot. As Love was defeated, Milo, the 4th Fang, arrived there to attack them. Rain encountered Mash while traveling and was astounded by his strength. Rain realized that this was the youngster the headmaster had been referring to, so he apologized to him and handed him a magical handkerchief to help him cure his injuries. Rain forewarned him about Abel and counseled him to follow his calling even if it meant dying. Mash bangs on the door in an attempt to reach Abel since he frequently confuses the terms push and pull. At first, Abel was surprised to see Mash after he defeated Abyss because he believed that only Reigns could combat the terrible side of Abyss. Abel informed him that non-magical individuals are not permitted to exist in this realm since they merely deplete its resources. This brought back memories for Mash of how his father had always treated him well, even when he didn't understand magic. Love was hidden on the other side of the door, watching Abel and Mash's battle. Abel used his acid puppet to attack Mash, but Mash knocked them all down like bowling pins. Then, in exchange for Lemon, he confronted Abel. Mash began striking himself after Abel used his puppet magic to take control of his body, making him feel like a puppet controlled by threads. Suddenly, Abel stopped the fight because it appeared to be one-sided and wasn't entertaining. After that, Abel takes possession of Finn's body, which has been transformed into a wooden doll, and assaults Mash. If Mash strikes the doll, Abel will shatter it, and Finn will perish. Mash sustains injuries as a result of Finn's assaults. Finally, as Finn's axe broke, he grabbed the gold coin out of his pocket, threw it, severing the threads holding him to Abel, setting him free, and then caught the coin back. Mash snapped the strings Abel tried to tie to him with his incredible strength and kicked Abel in the face. Abel transformed Mash into a puppet again using the spell Marione's Change. Abel approached Mash, who had been transformed into a wooden puppet, and attempted to steal the gold coin from his robe pocket, but instead found a cream puff. Mash abruptly transformed back into a regular being and punched Abel. However, Abel was startled to witness this because his puppet magic only changes the human body's skin and inhibits electric signals from the brain and voluntary bodily movement. The abrupt spinal response was brought on by the cream puff. Our neurotransmitters take a shortcut that skips the brain to react swiftly to dangers from the outside world. Then Abel cast the ultimate spell Marione's Second, which has the power to transform anything into a puppet within a 100-meter radius when an invisible string contacts him, using the magic power he collected from the magical doll. Mash altered his body in such a strange way that he had to delay coming into contact with the remaining strings. Once he felt the strings on his left side, he tore them before he lost control of his right side and broke the ultimate spell. Abel was then grabbed by Mash using his spine, who then defeated him by striking him with a powerful blow to the ground. Abel recalled a day in his early life when his mother, a kind woman, was stabbed by a person while distributing food. His mother had always urged him to assist the less fortunate, but after one of the less fortunate killed her, he developed a hatred toward the weak. Mash requested Lemon because he had lost the battle and wanted Abel to free the pupils he had imprisoned as puppets. Mash, Lemon, Finn, and Dot applauded as they triumphed. In the meantime, Rain discovered the innocent Zero member of the Cell War. The person posing as Lance was actually a member of a secret society-based dark magic group. While John Pierre, a cannibalistic serial murderer, blocked Rain's path to the cell, Cell was moving toward killing Abel. When Mash went to the bathroom after the students had celebrated their win, they were all no longer puppets. Cell arrives there in the meantime and pushes Dot, Finn, and Lemon as they are traveling. With the exception of the whole information of Headmaster Wahlberg, he was unable to perform the mission assigned to Innocent Zero, prompting him to begin cursing Abel. In an attempt to make Abel strangle himself, Cell controlled his hand. Mash arrived shortly after with a tray full of cream puffs for their gathering. Since he was unable to bring them in a timely manner, Mash's friends were shocked to see those cream puffs. A fly appeared out of nowhere on Mash's nose, causing him to sneeze. The cream puffs are all over Cell, causing him to lose control over Abel's hand due to the sneeze. A big spike ball was created by Cell, who once more lifts Abel, and it was headed in his direction. Abyss steps in front of Abel to stop the ball from hitting him, but he suffers serious injuries in the process. Abyss received Mash's magical handkerchief. Mash violently stomps the ground and kicks a rock at Cell's face, but Cell grabs it and begins to lick it. Mash yells at Cell to make room for him since he needs to take Abyss to the hospital. Mash intervened to shield Abel and Abyss from the spikes and began punching the carbon spikes, breaking them, as Cell created the razor-sharp spikes and threw them towards Mash and Abel. Abel began to believe that Mash couldn't hold off Cell for too long, and that Abyss was also foolish for stepping in the way of the ball. Mash informed him that Abyss was content working with Abel because he had spent his entire childhood alone. As Cell now wanted to end this fight quickly, he made the decision to assault Mash with a strong carbon rain. Mash nearly got hit by the spikes since they were moving so quickly, but Abel's puppet saved him. Cell destroyed the puppet doll, but Mash sneaked up within it and punched Cell, breaking his tough facial tissue in the process. He inquired about the magic that Mash had employed against him, and Mash responded that he had employed power magic. Then Cell picked up a spellflection mirror, a magical object that reflects the spells performed in its direction, and placed it close to his face. Mash quickly kicked the mirror away, smashing it into several pieces, and forced Cell backward. When Cell touched Mash, a mark appeared on his hand, leading Cell to believe that Mash was the boy he was looking for. He then returned to his dimension after that. However, upon realizing that Mash has no magical ability, they were all startled to witness this. Mash's friends pledged to keep it a secret, but they shared that if anyone found out, they would be punished. Then, the student that Abel had converted into a puppet overheard everything and threatened to tell the teacher. With this, we conclude this video. Make sure to support us by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Also, don't forget to ring the notification bell. See you in the next video.